Hello everyone, this is Riccardo Mazzini and this is Vlog. And this is Heroes of Normandie, Big Red One edition, which means it is a second edition. Let's just adjust the camera just a bit. Okay, Heroes of Normandie, Big Red One edition, which means it is a second edition of a system of the 2014 system, which is called Heroes of Normandie. More precisely, Heroes of Normandie, because this is a French design game. There are two French game designers, Yann and Clem, who designed this game, starting from what? From the love of Warhammer 40,000, of all things, and of miniature wargaming and sci-fi miniature wargaming. Yann and Clem designed a game which is called Frontiers, Liberty of Death, and from this game, this was a version of Warhammer 40,000 with a free map, with no grid, etc. And then they started for this, and they designed a game, a World War II tactical game. This is a game to which I'm very attached, because this is one of those games that got me back into board wargaming after many years of miniature wargaming. Personally, I just started as a kid with board wargaming, then got into miniature wargaming, and then got back into board wargaming. This was one of those systems like the SCS series by MMP and Commands and Colors system that got me back into into board wargaming. Sorry, but this system remains reminiscent of miniature wargaming. Why? Because each counter, as you see, there are quite large counters, actually looks like a miniature base. And you see the style is very peculiar, because it is very reminiscent of comic books, of graphic novels. There is a very important tradition of graphic novels, even historical graphic novels in France and Europe. All the components, they're very colorful, they're very nice, they're very easy because on each of to use, because there's a highly effective visual interface, because as you see on every single counter you have all the icons for all the different abilities of each counter, but also all the relevant values, the defense values, the attack values. They are all color coded. For example, this is a support team, a Browning team. You have this one is the defense modifier, which means there's a defense value of 4 oranges infantry, but all those other values are the attack values. So when this Browning team attacks another infantry squad, that is a counter with a orange defense modifier, defense value, sorry, it has an attack modifier of +2. If it attacks a red counter, a counter with a red defense value, which is an unarmored vehicle, it has another +2 in the attack. But if it tries to attack a vehicle with a tank with an armored vehicle, that is a counter with a gray defense value, okay, it cannot attack. How do you attack it? Well, you take a very easy, very simple, a bazooka squad, which is, as you see, has a +3 against armored targets. But what do I attack? Okay, every single vehicle has his own front armor defense value, side armor defense value, and rear armor defense value. So it is very easy, very intuitive to find which values you have to use to fight. Just roll a d6, you add up your attack modifier. If you roll equal or higher than the defense value of the target, okay, you've got a hit. If you hit a vehicle, then you roll another dice. There are other counters for threats, or you have destroyed the weapon, or you have suppressed the crew, or you may have destroyed the vehicle, so the vehicle becomes a wreck. There is a wreck. Wow, very evocative. And those wrecks, well, they stay on the map, they block line of sight. So do you want to get rid of the wreck? You have to come with another vehicle and you got to push it away like that. There are rules for that. There are rules for everything, just like in your average tactical game. But as you see, this is not your average tactical war game. This is not Advanced Squad Leader. This is incredibly easy. It is not even the lock-load tactical system. It's much more intuitive, much more colorful. Why? Because this system, as Jan Clem always say, it is inspired not just by historical simulations, but by, okay, let's adjust the camera once again, by historical war movies like A Bridge Too Far, The Longest Day, Where Eagles Dare. You've got special characters, you have got special abilities, just like The Big Red One or Cross of Iron. There is also a subsystem totally independent, but it uses just the same rules, which is called the Heroes of Stalingrad on the Eastern Front. There are even sci-fi and fantasy versions with Cthulhu or Dust Tactics. The system is very, very flexible. There is a Warhammer 40,000 after the original game Heroes of Blackreach, which uses this system. It is very, very easy. This is a D6 system, and it is very easy to use. Also, very nice, you've got an activation system. You put all your counters at the beginning of the turn. You don't know what there are also left counters. You place those tokens, sorry. Okay, you and your opponent, and then you go. You begin the turn. Okay, who is going to be the first one to be activated? And this is it. So the support team moves or fires, and then it's up to the German. So it is a very dynamic system. You have got cards, you've got combat cards. Here they are, and with modifiers, they are quite well balanced. In a second edition, which is, as I said, it is an adjusted first edition, which is much more balanced. Also, the style, which in the first edition was very comic-like, was a bit exaggerated, a bit caricatural. I don't know if caricatural is an English word, it is an Italian word. That is, it was grotesque, it was ironic, very ironic. This is more gritty. In the second edition, things got more gritty. They got rid of too exaggerated depictions of special characters, of heroes. It is much more gritty, but there are a lot of expansions. This is just the base game of the second edition, the Big Red Round edition. If you manage to see the website for the producer Devil Pig, you will see a lot of expansions, of special units. There are the British, and there is also a new Kickstarter coming in for Commonwealth troops, but there are also French partisans. There is an expansion about Goering's armored train, or a scenario to liberate Mussolini. Nobody fought over it. It was not there was no firefight, but this is an hypothetical scenario if the Carabinieri holding Mussolini put up a firefight. There are a lot of expansions. Also, the game has scenarios like this one, which is one of those scenarios included in the base game, but there is also a very effective army building point system, which is based over these tiles with options, and they are quite realistic, quite plausible options. You cannot have 5 Sherman tanks rolling up with the rifle platoon. You have you can customize, you can have options, you can have grenades, you can have flamethrowers, but you can have always in historically plausible measures, in historically plausible numbers. This is I have to say that because I am very attached to this game. This is a weird game, okay? Because it is an ideal introductory war game. Because colorful, simple, very quick scenario, 1 hour. This is a small scenario with 2 tiles where those tiles can be customized, but they're modular tiles. A normal scenario has 4 tiles. Okay, very easy. It might look a bit simplistic. It is not, because there is a lot of historical detail. There are lots of different historical vehicles, and they all behave in a very different manner. All the interdependence between the different teams and weapon specializations and common structure, it is all there. This is just like a tactical war game, no doubt about it. It is where, for this reason, because it looks introductory, it looks simplistic, but it is a World War II tactical war game, proper. It is a very effective, very good system, very plausible, very detailed system. Sometimes there is possibly a bit too much, too many icons, too many stuff to go around, but it is also highly modular, highly customizable, and it is also effective. It is nice, and after all, it is dynamic, it is fun, it is quick, it has lots of action. So if you want to relive not just an historical simulation, but a simulation of those movies which we all went to see when we were younger, I have to say. Those war movies, that atmosphere, that setting, that feeling, even TV series like Band of Brothers. Okay, this is the game for you, because it is highly cinematic, highly narrative, highly dramatic, but it is also highly effective as an historical simulation. It is not an abstract game. Okay, it is strange because there are no hexagons, it is a square grid, but it works. Of course, you can move diagonally. It is not a problem. Sometimes it might feel a bit rigid because a bit chess-like, and some small combinations. If you got the right card at the right moment, you are going probably you are going to win this scenario. But it is not so overpowering, especially in the second edition. The first edition you felt that much more. In the second edition, a bit less. It is much more balanced. There is a lot of stuff. Also, all the stuff in version 1 of the game is totally compatible with version 2, and for me it is a nice game. It is a way to have a very fun but still historically plausible war game. You just have to know that you are going to relive maybe more the scene of a movie, but of a good war movie or a good historical movie. It is not something totally out of reality, totally impossible. And it is also a clever game, because you have got to plan your action, you got to bluff, use well your cards. and to create your file lines, and you use coordinate the actions of the vehicles and the support infantry. Or you have, okay, there is a very powerful enemy vehicle which can win the match all by itself, so you have got to find countermeasures. You got hidden squads, you have got grenades, smoke grenades, so maybe you throw smoke grenades to advance on that vehicle and you ambush it, or you get inside a bunker. All of this stuff, it's there, okay? And there are lots of missions, lots of stuff, lots of material. I really like this game. Nice components, a good style, a very attractive style, and also a very easy and intuitive gameplay. It is not a ESL, it is not a very complex and incredibly detailed simulation, but there is detail, there is historical value, there is historical content in there. It is not just a firefight, a frontal firefight. And also it is very customizable. I have seen many wargame grognards who have devised something of advanced rules, more detailed use, more detailed scenarios, and much of this is on the website. There is a terrific online support of it. I don't know about the availability outside Europe, but I think it is quite good. There was a Kickstarter for a Big Red One edition. It is coming up to the States and international market. I think there is a good distribution, and for us in Europe it is a very good game. It is very nice to have it, but even for international wargames it is a very good opportunity. This is a wargame you can play with your cats, with your with your children, with young ones, with non-wargamers. It is attractive. You see lots of colors, lots of action, but it has historical content. It is totally plausible. It has a good strategic value. So this was Heroes of Normandie. For me, this is a recommended game. A very different take on the World War II tactical wargaming, but I think a different vision of that kind of wargaming that you should not miss, or at least you should try. Maybe you like it or not, but I really liked it. That's it for today. That's it for this episode for Heroes of Normandie Big Red One edition. As always, have fun. See you later. See you in the next episode. And as always, don't be scared. It's just war games. Ciao.